Most lawyers seem to worry that AI is here to replace them. But the truth is that it really can make your law firm more profitable and less stressful. Let me show you how with 10 ways lawyers can start using AI in their law firms right now. I'm Darcel Lobo. I'm a solo lawyer who helps other lawyers open and run successful law firms. I'm tired of hearing lawyers worrying about AI. AI is not your competition, and you're not working against it. Let's use AI to work smarter in our law firms and better serve our clients. So let's get into these top 10 ways. Let's start with legal research. AI tools can be used to really analyze very quickly statutes and case law and regulations. Something that used to take lawyers hours to do can now be done in minutes. And so that's the first one. And before we get into the rest of these, let me just preface by saying I am fully aware that, whatever you use AI for, like you as a lawyer, you're still needed, right? You need to review this. You need to edit this, make sure that what is generated for you with case law or statutes are actually real and actually do apply. So you still have to do your due diligence. You can't just ask AI to do things for you and then you just take a hands-off approach. Like you still have to review, but we're talking about using AI to do most of the legwork for you and then you just kind of come in and clean it up and wrap it up. And it's really going to help my lawyers who procrastinate a lot. This is going to give you a great way to get that jump start on that, project that you need to research to kind of get you going and get the ball moving for you. So I wanted to add that in here. So just to make sure it's very clear that AI is not doing 100% of your job for you, you still need to have some oversight of the process. Okay, with that said, let's get into number 2. Drafting contracts, reviewing contracts. These AI platforms can flag your risk, look at clauses, compare agreements to your standard templates that you may have. Again, not to replace you as the lawyer. The lawyer is still needed. But I would say AI can get you a good, 75% of the way? And then you are, again, fine-tuning, you're reviewing, you're editing as needed, but it's getting you started. So when it comes to drafting contract or language that you need for contracts, it can be a great tool to use in your law firm. All right, number 3, document automation. There are so many documents, whatever your practice area is, there are certain documents that you use over and over and over again. These are simple documents, but you are using manpower, whether it's yourself or your assistant or your paralegal to create these every time, whereas you can start using AI to do that for you. We're talking about intake, definitely. If you do estate planning, doing wills or trust, there's going to be certain forms that you use that are very simple, or even like in real estate or immigration or family law, that these things can be auto-generated for you with very minimal lawyer input. So in addition to getting it done faster for you, let's talk about the accuracy aspect, right? How many times do you just find that you or your team make human errors? We all do. We're all human, right? When you are using technology to auto-create these documents for you based on the initial input, it's going to be the same every time. You're not going to have those same typos that you might have from human error. Number 4, let's talk about e-discovery. AI can be used to really sift through large amounts of data. We're talking about if it's, reviewing emails or documents or, text history of your clients, right? To find any kind of evidence that you're looking for faster or cheaper. Again, this is something that would take a lawyer hours to do, can now be done in minutes with just some minimal review by the attorney or your team afterwards. Number 5, litigation analytics. Now, I say this knowing and understanding that I do not have a litigation practice. I have more of what you would call a motion practice. A litigation practice is just not conducive to the kind of firm that I want to have and my time and why I went out on my own. But for those of you that do, a lot of these AI tools can provide litigation analytics about how judges may rule or opposing counsel strategies or projecting case outcomes based on past data. I can see that very helpful in a personal injury case, right? When it comes to, claim values, right? And so there are a number of tools that can be used for litigation law firms to help them with this type of analytics of their case to really, again, cut down on the time needed in their case. Now, again, AI is not always going to get it right. It's not going to be perfect. So you still need to do your due diligence, but it's really going to help get that case off the ground, get things moving for you, and help you, again, if you're a procrastinator like a lot of us can be sometimes. Number 6, we touched on client intake. Let's talk about these chatbots. Because AI chatbots can be very useful to, answer FAQs and schedule consultations with clients and pre-qualify leads. But I have to tell you, I personally hate chatbots. I hate them. I find them super annoying. So for the time being, you will not find chatbots on my website. For my law firm, I will not have a chatbot. Now, if they get better in the future, well, then maybe I'll reevaluate. So you get to pick and choose what technology you do or don't want. Again, the beauty of being a law firm owner, you get to make all of these decisions for your business. And if you want to change your mind, you can change your mind. You can do whatever you want. So when it comes to chatbots, I don't love them. I'm not a fan. However, I do like using AI when it comes to gathering information from a client, right? And so a lot of your practice management software can do this as well, to where you're asking for basic information on the intake, and that's populating the case in your CRM for clients later. And so if you are having the client input, their name and date of birth, things like that, when you go to create their power of attorney or their real estate contract, it can automatically populate that information for you. So you're not having to re-enter it every time. Again, you or your team. Saving you time, saving you money, saving the client time and money also, right? Okay. Number 7, time tracking and billing. AI can automatically capture like your billable hours and generate invoices and detect billing errors. Now, a lot of practice management software can actually use AI to capture time for you. If you're hourly, that's great. If you're flat fee, I would still utilize it because you need to make sure that you have a good ROI on your flat fees, that you are quoting appropriate flat fees, that you are understanding how much time it actually takes you to do that case that you've agreed to a flat fee for. You want to make sure it's profitable for you in your business. And so a lot of your Clio, your MyCase, your Practice Panther, all those softwares that you use for practice management can automatically capture when you're working on that case and how much time you spent doing so. So a great way to be capture some time that you might be leaving on the table and not collecting on. All right, let's talk about marketing and content creation. So as a solo, I put out a bit of content in my law firm. I write a blog on my website. I'm a guest blogger on a local neighborhood blogging website. I create video content for my law firm. And so in order to do so, we utilize AI in our firm to create that content. And you should be doing so as well for whatever content you're creating in your solo law firm. Now, I don't have AI do everything for us, right? So we'll use AI to come up with ideas of what to talk about in our content. We'll have it outline the content, and then my paralegal goes in and she revises it and edits it appropriately because I don't want it to sound like a robot is running the blog, right? So we go in and we make it personable. So my paralegal goes in first, she gives it a review, and then it comes to me for me to review and edit as I see fit. Make sure everything in there is accurate, right? Sometimes AI can be wrong again, so you still have to do your part in making sure that it's accurate and a correct reflection of whatever the topic is that you're talking about. And so that's how we use AI in our firm for content creation and for marketing. And so you should look at doing so as well. A lot of the tools that you can use are pretty cheap or even free to be able to use for utilizing AI to create content in your firm. All right, I think we're on number 9. Yeah, I think that's right. Number 9. So data analytics for your firm. Yes, you are a law firm. Yes, you are a lawyer, but first you are a business owner. I say this all the time. I don't care how great of a lawyer you are. If you suck at running a business, your law firm is either going to flop or have very, very slow growth. And so you can use AI to track the KPIs in your firm. Again, knowing where referrals come from, how many consultations you have, what is your conversion rate, how many of them turned into actual paying clients, right? How long are cases taking from opening to closing? So making sure that your cases are moving along and that your firm is profitable, you need to have a good grasp on these KPIs, and you can use AI to be able to calculate those numbers for you so you know where you and your team are in your law firm. All right, number 10, virtual assistants. Now, you may actually hire a real person as a virtual assistant. That's a great option for the firm. However, you can take some tasks off of your to-do list, off of your assistant's to-do list, off of your paralegal's to-do list by using AI in your firm. So when it comes to scheduling clients, sending clients reminders, doing the follow-ups, all those things that would take the admin time to do can now be done automatically. This is not to say that AI is going to replace people on your team, right? It's not going to, but it's going to make everyone more efficient and free them up to do more profitable work for the law firm and helping your business grow. All right, I have one more for you, so let's do a bonus here. Let's talk about voice to text transcription, because there's going to be times I can think of so many meetings where, there was someone taking notes in that meeting. You don't need that anymore, right? You don't need to pay for that anymore. Your client doesn't have to pay for that anymore. Now you can have voice to text transcription with AI for, client interviews and meetings and a wide array of reasons, right? And so, again, you're checking your own state's RPCs and your ethics and whatever the rules are that regulate your ability to do so. But if it is an option for you, I know that like on Zoom, it does that for you. It provides, a transcript of that meeting that you had, right? And so being able to have these tools and use them in your firm to go back later and not having to pay someone for the man hours to actually be the note taker in that meeting and transcribe it for you, right? You can do that automatically with AI. So that was a lot. We went over 11 ways, not just 10, of how you can use AI in your firm. Not all these options will be right for you. I'm not telling you to do all of these things. You can't do all of these things, not all at the same time, right? Pick one or two that's going to work for you and start integrating that into your law firm. Where's the lowest hanging fruit? What's going to be the easiest for you to use? Maybe using an online calendar is going to be a great way for you to start to dip your toe into using AI in your firm so that clients can schedule themselves. They get the email confirmation automatically. They get the email reminder the day before. They get the text reminder the day before. Just start small. Again, AI is not here to replace you as the lawyer. It's not here to replace law firms. I think what you need to approach it and how to think about it is, how can I use it to make it better? How can it make my law firm better? How can it make my team better? How can it give my clients a better experience in working with my law firm? That's how we're going to approach AI. That's how we're going to utilize AI in our firms. And that's how you're going to get ahead of your competition who doesn't want to use AI, who fights against using AI in their law firms. So I hope this helps, and I'll see you in the next one.